Hi guys, this is Lachette from Scarlet Moon Creations, and I'm back with my February elemental reading video. Sorry, I had a frog in my throat all of a sudden. So, now February has passed, or the February lunation, so from new moon to new moon, February 5th to March 6th. Looking at the 4 elemental cards that I pulled for this month, looking back at how they impacted me this month, or how they showed what energies I was dealing with for the month. And at the end of the video, as always, I'll give you a glimpse of the March cards. So, starting off with the Thoth Tarot and my air card, I got the 4 of Swords, which says truce on the bottom, and this card really looks like harmony in chaos, finding balance and even some beauty. I don't exactly know what kind of flower that is at the center, but everything comes in very harmoniously and balanced, and it just so happens that well, not just so happens, because the creators of this card and other decks they use the symbolism properly. There's the Libra sign, which is the sign all about balance and also fairness and trust and justice. The other glyph on the card, I don't know if you can see it there at the top, is the sign for Jupiter, which is expanding and expansion, growth, and lots of power. If you think of the planet Jupiter, it's the biggest one in our solar system. So yeah, the elements of air being, as always, thoughts, communication, mental health, and just the landscape of the mind. This month I came to grips, came to terms, got my act together, and did, I mean, the saying goes, I did what I needed to do, but it's not so much that, though that happened, but it's like I did what I needed to do the things that I wanted. This year is really for me about going in depth into the things that I've been saying I want to do, I want to accomplish, I want to get done, stuff I want to try, and in so many spheres. And often what hinders that is my thoughts, and then my feelings about my thoughts, and that kind of thing. Last month, I was still kind of shaky. This month, things got done, which is interesting. Wands was, the 7 of Wands, I believe, was last month's card, and Wands are the action card. Swords are the thoughtful card. So in practice, I have been doing pretty good, actually, on the Miracle Morning, which like I talked about in my last video. There's a lot of mental work involved in the various steps, in the lifesaver steps, and so doing my Miracle Morning most of the time, doing my affirmations, saying my affirmations, communicating with others what I want, and finding out what I need to do to get what I want, and talking with family and friends. There was a very intense conversation with my mother out of the blue, but I stuck through it even though I was just like, I wanted to run away, because that's what I kind of do with those types of conversations. And working on building that relationship. Back to the lifesavers, meditating 9 times out of 10. It was great. The meditations, having the Plant Ally Project, the color of the month, and song of the month, the essential oils, and that kind of thing, all gave me something to focus on each with my meditations. And I've gotten into the habit and then journaling about those things so I can come back and see where I was at mentally later on and how that improved. Yeah, I was just kind of in a really good headspace, and I'm very happy about that. So the next card, my fire card, 10 of Wands. This guy. Now, this particular wand card is not as intense as some other 10 of Wands in other decks, but he's still carrying a lot in not the most efficient fashion, so one of these could slip at any point, and he can't exactly 100% see where he's going. So yeah, I put in a lot of work and action this month. I was participating in readathons that I didn't originally have on my plan. Blackathon, which was a full month, and Contemporary-thon, which was a week. And I went out a couple of times. It was just a lot. I think I realized definitely that I had put a lot on my plate, that I need to do less of other things, sacrifice that time for the new things that I want to do, and that was okay. Like I said, I put in the work. My Miracle morning routine, working on my Materia Medica, doing the research for the Plant Ally Project, helping my grandmother grocery shop. That actually happened a lot. So it was just a very full action oriented month. But also, fire represents creativity, and if you've seen my bullet journal video, my most recent one, my most recent plan with me video, you'll see like my symbol of the month was fire and candles, and they're like all over my bullet journal. I just did a lot of artistic and creative things during this month that I am quite proud of. Let's see. Next, I just wanted to double check to see if there was any other thing that I did this month that contains the fire. My water card from Llewellyn Tarot. I'm going to tilt this because these are like watercolor pictures, so a little hard to see with the lighting. This is the Hierophant, or Taliesin, in the Welsh mythology, which this deck is based on, and he is sitting not so much in the forest, but I think riverside or creekside. So he's out in nature. There's a harp, there's a chalice and horns, but he's not like the Empress, I'm gonna say, who like becomes one with the nature around her. She's like, she is one of the growing things, and the growing things are growing all over her. He is just sitting out there. It's just more orderly. Water representing emotions, the unknown, and for me, I guess I took control. Things like saying affirmations in the morning, reminding myself why I'm doing what I'm doing, journaling regularly to get my thoughts and feelings down on paper and getting them out there, expressing them more with the talk with people with the creative aspects. It just made me feel more in control of myself, and I like that. I know that, you know, we are human beings, and control is sort of overrated. And I'm not looking for 100% control because my body like rails against it. I just want to smash down the system. But having this much at least to pay attention to what's going on with me and knowing myself well enough how to deal with it is really great for my emotional health. So last but not least, for my Earth card from the Fairies Oracle, I've got the Glockener. I mentioned before, this is not one of my favorite cards. One of the activities in the book for this deck is to go through the cards and pick out the ones that you really like or really drawn to. And then also go through the deck and pick out the cards that you really don't like, the ones that kind of put you off or make you skeeve. This is one of those. And that has not changed. Some of the cards I didn't like when I got the deck have switched over sides. They've become more neutral. This one, not so much. The Glockener is all about illusions and telling you that you need to fight those illusions. Stop putting on a mask. Stop pretending everything is whatever, and look at the real thing, because you're hiding in illusions. Now, Earth is all about finances, but also the physical self, your physical space, being grounded, connected, having stability, a foundation, that kind of thing. That's why all of those things are in there. Taking care of, you know, things like survival and basic needs is a foundation of life. Having a good job, a steady income usually means stability in life, at least in today's modern world, right? So the Glockener is, you know, was reminding me that I need to stop pretending everything is okay, stop ignoring the things that are not great, which are all in this area, of course. Some things I did work on, others I didn't, but seeing as how I'm filming this video after this month period is over, I think it was a setup. The Hierophant and the Glockener kind of working together, because these cards do work together. You know, I am one person, a complex being, but you know, my emotions and my stability in life are not completely separate things. No, they aren't, because I know they aren't, because I'm often an emotional wreck when my stability, my finances is in shambles, worse than normal. So, I think I was able to put myself in a better place emotionally, and so able to start confronting the illusions and putting together a plan for how I'm going to fix my stability to make myself more stable. I will say also, I stopped ignoring certain opportunities, started putting together a plan to bring in those new opportunities, planning ahead instead of seeing what may come. So, and not looking at the negative side of things and saying, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that because I don't know what's gonna happen. So I took advantage of a couple of opportunities that are looking pretty good, and even if one definitely turned out great, if the other one doesn't, that's fine. I'm not going to be horribly upset about it. So now, that was my February cards. Now let's look at the March cards. So for air, I've got the Chariot from the Thoth Tarot, a major arcana card, and this chariot is carrying something and somebody, or somebody's carrying something in this chariot. And for air, just leading, planning, going somewhere important apparently. And the next, for the element of fire and my Deviant Moon Tarot, I got the World. And that is another major arcana card. New cycles of creativity or passion and will and action. This is for Pisces season, so it's interesting that she's a mermaid there, and just, I guess, finishing up a cycle, about to start a new one. This lunation will take me through Pisces season out to the beginning of Aries season, and that is the end of the astrological year into the beginning of the new astrological year, and also the spring equinox, so a new season of growing. So change in maybe my actions. And my water card, the Tower, Fala Lake. I don't know how to think about this. Maybe I'll just be very emotional or very emotionally connected. I don't know. Another major arcana card again. And so that's 3 major arcana tarot cards. Now there's no major arcana and oracle cards usually, but I got himself. And this guy without fails always shows up when the rest of my cards are major. So I consider him a major. This guy is often like telling me where my power is, reminding me that I am powerful, and he's in the earth position, so grounding, stability, finances, looking deep into myself, herself, himself, and seeing the truth of things, delving deep. So those are my cards for March. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you guys in the next elemental reading. Bye.